Hello there, welcome to my channel, The Jellyfish Journals. My name is Susie, and in this video I am going to show you all of the spreads that I did in March, as well as a plan with me for my April monthly calendar spread. So let's get started. So if I can find the right one. All right. So this was my calendar spread for March, and as always I used the little calendar that is sent by Archer and Olive in a monthly email. I like the size of it, I like that it fits in there really well, and I love the blank boxes. It's just easy. That month I decided to use their they put the month at the top of each calendar. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. In March I did. In my last monthly update, there is a plan with me video of how I created this spread, but have all the things that I did in March. Well, I should say a little differently. These were all the big things that I knew I had to do in March, or that I was planning to do in March. This is definitely not everything I did in March. So a little window here, and then you can still see the calendar through, and then this is my line a day for March. And then moving on, I had these stickers in some, I guess it was like a 1,000 sticker multi-pack at Walmart, or who knows, it might have been Walgreens or something. But anyway, it had these like Luna moths in it, and I just thought it was really pretty. I'm not really into astrology or any of that stuff, but sometimes I just love the colors and that kind of moody theme, I guess. So kind of just went, I don't know, spacey, I guess, like outer spacey, not spacey like ditzy. Anyway, that came out kind of spacey, but anyway, just a little bit of a pretty theme there. And again, I don't know exactly what pack these stickers came out of, but it was like every sheet, it was like a sticker book, kind of like one of these. It isn't one of these, but where it's bound this way, and every page in it had like a different theme. I use them in my classroom to put on my students' work, but I kept a couple sheets that I liked. Don't tell them. Then I had this idea. I had bought these, I don't know if they were calligraph pens or something from Archer and Olive. They were on clearance. I bought them last November. And the first time I used them, they were great. I was in love. But then they sat there from November to March, and I'm not kidding, I had the hardest time getting them to work. But I had this idea of drawing all these kind of flowery shapes in the background, and the colors just went really well with these florals in a Happy Planner sticker book. I will try to link everything in the description box below, so if there's certain stickers you see that you're like, ooh, I like that, then look down below. Whatever I can link, I will. But all the stickers on this page came from that same sticker book. So sometimes that's kind of fun to just pull out one sticker book and create a whole theme around it. I did trash the pens after that, and while I love the Archer and Olive gel pens, I do not own any. My mom does, so I got to test them out when I was at her place for Thanksgiving. I will not be buying any more calligraphs, or, I know they call something else, acrylographs maybe? I can't remember. The gel pens, I'm still sold on. The other pens, I don't know if I love them so much. Then I had some fun creating this spread. So I am an affiliate at the Washi Tape Shop. If you decide that you would like to purchase anything there, if you use my code, thejellyfish10, you will get 10% off of your order. But one of the rolls that they sent me had these large scenes, like scenery. And so I'm going to try to hold that up a little bit. And that's as big as each piece is. And so this is the width of the washi tape. But I decided, as a jigsaw puzzle lover, I really wanted to turn them into jigsaw puzzles. And so this ended up becoming just a journal page. So because these were so large, I decided to only do 2 journal entries on this page. And I've said it in my other videos, and I'll say it again. I don't really plan weekly. or even really monthly. This will not stay down. I kind of plan as I go. I just found trying to plan my whole week in advance or my month in advance, I was so happy and I'd make beautiful spreads and everything was working out, and then plans would change or things would get canceled. And for me, it was frustrating me to figure out how to fit everything in. And I just found I have a lot more peace if I plan as I go. So my planner ends up being kind of a mishmash of a journal and some, not really a future planner at all, but kind of like a log of things that are happening. And sometimes I will set out a weekly spread. So for example, back in January, I set up this spread, and this was the week of my mom's birthday. So I did set this up in advance. And you can see I did a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all the way to Sunday. And I wrote down things I knew I had to do. So once in a while I'll do that. If, let's say, next week, I know I have a lot going on, that particular week, I might do a spread like this, just so I know I'm accounting for everything. But moving forward, you'll see more of my style. But anyway, this was a really fun way to just do a couple of quick journal entries. And I just seriously love the jigsaw puzzle stuff. Then I created this spread. This is just something kind of for fun. I had spring break in March. I teach 3rd grade and it was spring break. So I did have a lot of plans during spring break, one of them being that Sunrise on the Reaping was coming out. I am a massive Hunger Games fan, along with my best friend. And so I definitely wanted to document that. I was going out to dinner with a friend who's moving away. I had a couple of book shopping dates set up with some girlfriends. So I had this image. I don't remember if I got this on Etsy or if I just found it on Google. But I found this really fun print and it was just kind of floating around in my stuff by itself. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to do something fun with it. So I had these letter stickers, which I believe came out of the same book that these stickers came out of. And all I did was I just glued that down, kind of kept it off to the side. I took all these fun washi tape colors. They came in this, which I think I got at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. And I just kind of looked and I was like, ooh, all those colors look really well or look really good together with this. So I put them up in the corners just to kind of pull those solid colors in. Most of these boxes came from a Wrong Rainbow Boxes sticker book. I will link that down below. And then I kind of just flipped through my other sticker books just to see, you know, things like set goals, bring on the week. But really this was just kind of like a, what am I doing during spring break? So this is an example of a spread that I did in advance. This is my to-dos for the week. But anyway, this is all stuff that I knew I wanted to do. Another thing I like to do, because I get bored very easily with myself and my creativity, if I do a really bright, bold spread like this, sometimes I like to tone it down right after that. So these stickers, I believe, all came out of the same sticker book. I will link that down below as well. Actually, I take that back. They did not all come out of the same sticker book. These came out of a pack that my husband found on Amazon for me. They're a little shiny, so I have to use a Sharpie to write on those, which is kind of a pain, but I love the colors. Some washi I already had that went well, but it just kind of lightens things up a little bit. So we've got this bright, bold spread, a little bit darker. This one's definitely darker, but now we've got a really washed out light look. And it's just a nice visual break, I guess. Then I have a spread here, which is kind of an homage or a dedication. No, that sounds terrible. It's just kind of a little nod to my best friend, Sana, who was recently diagnosed with breast cancer. She is thankfully recovering well and getting through what she needs to get through. But I am going to have a video about how I created this spread, but I just thought it would be kind of fun to do a pink spread, to write about her and our friendship a little. So some of our favorite pictures are on the sides. And then the little breast cancer ribbon in the middle. And then I just journaled a little bit about our friendship, but just something kind of fun in the middle. I love to play around with my gel pens while I'm watching TV with my husband, and gel pens on a dot grid paper are so much fun. And so I found a pattern I liked on Pinterest, and I just spent a few nights working with it. I don't know why I decided to do oranges and golds, but I did. Those are not typically my colors, which is probably why I went for it. I love the shimmer. And then these came in a box set of stickers that I found on Amazon. Again, I'll link it down below. At first I didn't have anything up there, but it looked kind of empty. So then I found these stickers that were in the box set, and they had those kind of orangey tones to it, and they went along with faith, I think. So Waymaker, Miracle Worker, Promise Keeper, Light in the Darkness. Those are all words that describe God. Faith in God changes everything. Keep on smiling and He will lead the way. And so I just thought all that connected to faith really well. Moving on. I don't love this. I loved these stickers and I really wanted to use them. And there were a lot of circular stickers in the sticker book that had that pattern. So my big brain was like, oh, well, let's just draw a whole bunch of stickers. And so I traced something, I think it was, I don't know. I think it was this. Yeah, it's this Archer and Olive stencil that I bought. It's kind of hard to see. I can move this for a sec. But it just has all these different shapes. And originally, I think I got it for the stars, which I have not been using in my reading journal. Because frankly, I forgot I had that until this very minute. But I think that is why I bought it. It was on sale or something back in November when I ordered this journal. But anyway, I don't love it. It's kind of busy. These are kind of see-through, so the circles ended up showing through a little bit. But you know what? So what? These are those same shiny stickers, so all of this I had to do with a Sharpie, which I don't love, but it's still fun, and it's so pretty. I just love some of the stickers. Then, I didn't update this yet. I did create a March Madness spread. I like to do a bracket every year as a way to bond with my stepson. As I've mentioned, I have 2 daughters, and so when I married my husband, I inherited a stepson, and I don't always know what to say to him because I raise daughters, but he is crazy for sports, and March Madness is something he and I really have a lot of fun with. He likes to help me talk about my teams and pick my teams, and then I can text him and say, oh, that stinks, they lost, and he'll text back. And so kind of silly, but it's just something he and I are able to talk over. So I went ahead and I made my brackets on, I guess, the ESPN website, and then printed out the brackets, and then I'm highlighting with orange whenever the team I picked wins. You can see I'm not very good, and I forgot to do the middle one, so I honestly have no idea who's winning because that's how great at this I am. I totally bombed all of this, but I don't know if Florida kept going. I have to look. If they send me email updates, I just have not looked at it yet. So, you can laugh at me in the comments if you want to, but then I printed up a tiny gator up here for my pick. But it's just kind of fun. I found these basketballs on Google Images and printed those up. I found the March Madness logo. I don't like that I did that. I really wish I hadn't, but who cares? And then just some washi tape I had in orange and black. And then this is my last layout for the month of March. It does dip into April because, like I said, I just keep going. Sometimes I will go a few days and I won't write a single thing because I just don't care about it. But again, you'll notice I do try to mix up my colors a little. This is from a roll of PET tape that I got on Amazon, and I was just dying to use these trees, so they're kind of shiny, if you can tell. And then these came from, I think it's this sticker book. I just happen to have it. Yeah, I got this at Hobby Lobby, and I'm not even kidding. These are just so pretty. I could use these all day, all night. These have cream on them. And then there's a lot of white and gold and the different shades of green and black. And I just love these little doodad stickers, even though I never remember to use them. And then a lot of leaves, of course. So I actually bought this to go in my current reading journal theme. It's a forest theme because I loved these, like circular boxes made of plants. Didn't end up using it for that, but I was like, ooh, I still got to use it. So there we go. And oh, I have one more spread. And the last one is my badges, my Garmin badges. I really love doing this. March was a good month for me. I earned 6 badges on my watch. I hit my 300,000 steps in March, which it's an easy month to do it because I have spring break, so I have a lot of time to walk. But also there's 31 days in March, so you basically don't even really have to hit 10,000 steps a day. You can skip a day if you need to. I did a 3-mile walking activity on a specific weekend. I walked 30 miles in March, 20-minute activities. And then on International Women's Day, I did an activity, so you earned a badge for that. And then this one, I sort of cheated. This is called, I forget what it's called. I am the Knight or something. But anyway, you earn this if you do an activity after 10 p.m. And I ended up out at Topgolf on a date night with some friends. And we got home and it was like 9:55, and I don't stay up late. I love to be in bed 8:30 if I can with a book. So I got on my walking pad and I walked for 10 or 15 minutes since it was after 10 o'clock. By the time I got my sneakers on and stuff, and that's all I did. So sort of cheated, but I honestly have no idea when else I would ever get that badge. So those are all my spreads in March. Stick around if you want to see my April plan with me, and I'll see you in just a minute. All right, so full disclosure, I had this idea randomly while sitting in church one day. And if you will look in the back of my church notes journal, you will see a very quick sketch of the basic idea for my April calendar layout. So sometimes ideas come in the weirdest times or at the weirdest times, and this was one of them. And I don't know what made me decide to do it in April, but you will see the stickers that inspired the color scheme for this layout in just a minute. But my thought process was to have my calendar sitting in the middle of a giant butterfly. And so the butterfly wings are sort of acting like Dutch doors. I'll be honest, I'm not sure I know the exact official name for Dutch doors or what makes a Dutch door a Dutch door. But in any case, the butterfly wings are going to be a little lifted off the page, I guess, so to speak. Just out of sheer dumb luck, this layout fell on those random notebook pages that just don't lay flat. They're kind of wonky. So I just kind of decided that I was going to roll with it instead of gluing them together. Like you see my word glue there. That was the original intention. And funny enough, it kind of, you can see it kind of somehow made the butterfly look a little elevated off the page, which turned out to be kind of a neat little feature there. So I'm just erasing all the pencil lines everywhere, even though I'll cover them up in a minute, and double checking to make sure the calendar fits, although I don't know what I would do about it at this point. And here you can see those beautiful butterflies that inspired the color scheme for this spread. I bought that sticker book at Michael's just because I fell in love with those 2 stickers. And I think what I was drawn to is just the bizarre color scheme. It's gold, kind of like a royal blue, some mauvey pinks, and red. And aside from blue, I'm not really into gold, pink, or red. So I was thinking that would just kind of put a punch in my notebook, something a little bit different. And I decided I was just going to go with it. And so those colors of the butterflies there are the complete inspiration for the color scheme. And it also just so happens that the Washi Tape Shop sent me some beautiful peony washi tape. And I just noticed that the colors go so well with the colors in those butterflies. And so I thought there was kind of a cool juxtaposition of the realistic look of the flowers on the washi tape and kind of the graphic nature of the butterfly stickers. So, I am an affiliate at the Washi Tape Shop. So, if you would like to do any shopping there, you can use my discount code, thejellyfish10, and that will get you 10% off of your order at the Washi Tape Shop. And there's no extra cost to you, but yes, there's a little kickback to me. And so hopefully, watching this video, it just kind of shows another way you can use these. The peonies on this are pre-cut. Gosh, I hope those are peonies. I feel like they're peonies. They are pre-cut, which is wonderful, but I did cut off the green leaves. There was no green in the butterflies, and so I didn't want any of that element there. I outlined the wings of the butterflies with a royal blue, I believe it was a Crayola Super Tip marker. And now I'm just adding some shiny blue washi tape. Sorry, my leg is itchy and it's so distracting. I got this washi tape at a yard sale, so I'm not sure where it originated from. But I'm just kind of using that to highlight the body of the butterfly. Now, I totally struggled with antenna. I went back and forth about whether I was going to draw antenna or not, and hopefully you'll see by the end of the video why I ultimately decided not to bother with antenna. My daughter is studying entomology. She would not be happy about that, but so it goes. The spread's got to work, right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching. So right now I'm just kind of cleaning it up a little bit, and I am decided that so originally I wanted the flowers to kind of go over that blue edge of the butterfly. In the end, I didn't like it. I kept looking at those butterfly stickers. They were very graphic, very crisp lines. And so I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna stick with those nice crisp lines on my butterfly as well. So you can see I filled in the entire inside of the butterfly wings with those peonies. And I just love it. It pops so beautifully. Any little gaps that were left, I went back with that Crayola Super Tips and just filled in those gaps. And now I'm ready to glue my calendar in the middle. And hopefully you can see by the end of the spread, at the end of this video, how those realistic flowers just balance those graphic butterfly stickers so well. And I really love the pop of color. For me, that blue is very blue, and it's a little jarring. Blue is my favorite color, but sometimes I'm not positive I've got the right blue or the right look I'm going for. And in the end, I'm glad I trusted my gut, and I'm glad I stuck with such a bold color. So now I'm going to kind of see what other markers I have that might go along with this, because I do know that monthly I like to do a line a day. And this time I wanted to alternate those three main colors, pink, red, and blue, for my line a day in April. So in the end, I decided to go with a nice mauve, a bright red, and the royal blue. Even though I tried out some other blues, the royal blue just was it. I wasn't planning to use any more of those peony stickers, but the more I thought about it, the more I realized if I'm looking at the left-hand side or the right-hand side of my spread and not directly in the middle, I wouldn't see any of those beautiful stickers. So I decided I was going to line the bottom like a little garden with that washi tape. And now I am numbering for my line a day. So I just started at the bottom, and since there's 30 days in April, I just counted 15 backwards to 1, and I'm alternating those three colors. I never stress about these lines being straight because, quite frankly, by the time I go in and I write my thoughts for each day, it's so jumbled up you can't tell anything from anything. I knew I wanted that big guy right there. So pretty. Guys, I can't stand it. I just love it. And now I'm trying to decide, do I want the rest of my line a day to be at the bottom of the other page as well, or did I want to do something different? And I think what I ended up deciding, well, not I think, I know what I ended up deciding was that I was going to kind of add a little asymmetry to it. So I decided to continue the line a day at the top of the next page. And ultimately, I think my reasoning for that was just I didn't want everything to be too symmetrical. So obviously, butterflies are known for being super symmetrical. The shape of their wings is symmetrical. The colors on their wings are symmetrical. And I didn't want the top of both sides of the page to be butterflies, butterflies, and the bottom to be lines, and then the very bottom to be flowers. So it adds a little bit of contrast or interest to the page, I would say. And I luckily happened to flip through the same sticker book a little bit more, and there was another page with more, I don't want to say butterflies, they're not all butterflies, but other insects, and they had the exact same colors. That one broke. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to add some of these other ones to this page. I would have loved it if it had been 3 butterflies on the left and 3 butterflies on the right, but I'm a big believer in happy accidents, and you will see that I did not think of where I would write the month of April anywhere in this spread. And thankfully, since there were an odd number of butterfly stickers, it worked out so that I actually had a little space to write the month April on there, which I had almost forgotten to do. So I wasn't going to bother with trying to find stickers or anything, so I just kind of hand lettered April in there. And before I erase, I'm going to make sure that marker is good and dry because I have learned that lesson and I've been burned quite a bit. So with smudges. So I am just kind of going over April, thickening up those downstrokes just to make it look a little bit more like some foligraphy there. I did the same thing on the back of both sides of the butterfly wings. So they're outlined in blue and they have that washi tape for the body. I'm numbering my calendar, and then I'm just going to add my little code for 10,000 steps a day, which this time will be a little gold butterfly with that royal blue outline, which I think will look cool when it's all done. All right, and here is the final April monthly layout spread. So I've got my calendar in the middle of this, I guess kind of Dutch door butterfly. I'll record my 10,000 steps a day with a little butterfly symbol. It's kind of hard to tell because it's gold, so it's shiny. And then outline the box in blue so it pops a little bit more. You know, today's already April 4th. I've been sick all week, so not off to a good start, but that's okay. Over here on this side and up here is where I'll do my line a day for the month of April. These are kind of gold and shiny, so they're catching the light funny. And then on the backs of the butterfly wings, this is where I'll write my events for the month, just things I need to make sure I go to. For example, I had a dentist appointment yesterday, so even though I know that already happened, I'll just put that on there so I don't forget. I have a puzzle night that I'm going to. I'm on a puzzle team, and that'll be on the 22nd, so that'll probably end up on the back side of this. But in any case, that is my April spread. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a great day. Bye.